future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
She's passionate about telling stories of amazing women who are rocking the world and empowering women to live, love, and thrive. Here's your host, Catherine Gray.
Hi, welcome to Live, Love, Thrive Women's Empowerment Hour, brought to you by, of course, 360karma.com. And we're so happy to have you guys tuning in today because we have an incredible show. We have a very special guest who does most of the celebrity weddings here in Los Angeles, from Ellen and Portia to Sofia, Vergara, and Joe. Please give a warm welcome to the wedding planner of the celebrities, Mindy Weiss. Hi, Mindy. How are you?
How are you? I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to finally have you. You're a busy lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
The world of parties is never ending.
I know.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. We hope weddings will never be ending, right?
Right.
And I thought it was very interesting how you actually got into this business. Like, it was kind of like you didn't plan on it.
No, I didn't. I actually started in the invitation world where we would design custom, fun, crazy invitations.
Yeah.
And then from there, a lot of event planners came to myself and my partner Janice. We have a company called JAM, Janice and Mindy. And then one of the clients says, I want you to do the party, which I did not want to do because helping other event planners, they felt very stressed and, not happy. And I liked my weekends.
Yeah.
But then he talked me into it.
Yeah.
And having a family that did crazy parties. My mother planned insane, very creative parties. It was in my blood. I did that one party, and from that one party got 10 parties.
Oh, my gosh.
So
everybody loved that party so much that they all asked you to do. Yeah, so you knew you had a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who knew? Yes.
Was that first party as stressful to put together as you thought it would be?
Well, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So, and I had no connections, no florists, no decor. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
So I literally had to make lots of calls and figure out what I was going to do. And so, yes, it was stressful just because I had
you didn't know what you were doing.
No clue. Yes.
I felt that way when I did my first conference because I'd put on a lot of events, but a conference is a little different animal,
Of course.
just like a wedding is a little different.
Yes, of course.
And I remember thinking, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm good at putting on events, so I put on all the things, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that was the best conference, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how, I didn't know what I was doing, but
I think there's some things that are innate that
I think
you just
so.
know how to do,
You just know.
and then you got to fake the rest.
Yes.
That's what I
think. And you
think.
learn the rest, and
Every
sometimes
day I'm
sometimes
learning.
people see you learning it, and sometimes they don't know.
Exactly. That's my art. They don't know. Yes.
And I love that you said to me very honestly that you didn't have to be working. You were working because you wanted to.
Exactly.
And I think that's always really honorable that, you just have a work ethic that you just want to be working and making a difference and giving back. And
I was raised in a comfortable home where my parents didn't say we had to work. My first job was at a bakery down the street. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but I knew I had to work. I loved having my own little money.
Yeah.
But as I told you, I gained 15 pounds at the bakery and
I
thought
didn't remember
it was
that.
it was time to quit.
Obviously, you've lost it.
It was time to quit after I had all the chocolate chip brugala every morning.
I could not work in a bakery.
Oh my God! But I loved it, and from there, worked in every clothing store, and I just loved. Even when I went to college, didn't have to work, but
but you did.
Got a job right away.
And you went to college here locally?
I went to San Diego State, and then literally for 4 years, and had to come home to do my 5th year at Northridge so I could graduate. So that's how it went.
So you grew up here in Los Angeles.
Yes, I did.
But your parents are from the East Coast.
Yes.
You were telling me your dad was from the Bronx and your mom was from Baltimore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or as they say, Baltimore.
Right. I grew up not too far from there. And so what brought them to Los Angeles?
Well, my father sold insurance, and his brothers lived here. So he followed his brothers here. One was a lawyer, one was actually in the film business. A Jewish family making Christian movies. It was very
Really?
funny. As I get older, I love to hear the stories, understand more. And my father sold insurance. And then from there, he started a printing company, a printing plant, and got into the printing business. One of his clients, I didn't tell you this, was Mattel. So it was awesome with one of 3 sisters, and we got so many Barbie dolls because of Mattel. And
You thought, oh, this rocks.
And my mom didn't work. She was a stay-at-home mom, which
But she
probably
put on
was
great
a lot.
parties.
Amazing. Everything,
Yeah.
every birthday party for us, any kind of parties were fantastic and very unique and creative and out of the box.
Right. So you grew up with that, saw that, and apparently got that bug or that gift.
Mesmerized. My sisters and I, we had this staircase at home, and we would sit at the top and watch all the things going on and sneaking out of our rooms and then putting us back in our rooms. But I just loved the decor. You know, I was
what was the
mesmerized.
favorite party that your mom put on?
She gave this party, and as a little girl, I didn't understand. She gave this party for my father. I didn't tell you about this one. It was a surprise party that he thought he was going to, a costume party. He was dressed as a bricklayer, someone who laid bricks, and she was a brick poop house. Which I didn't understand. I go, oh, you're like a little house. So a bricklayer, she had a little dirty. She had a dirty creative mind, you know.
like her.
But the costumes were fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it was to come as, you know, someone you always, you know, with humor or something. I can't remember exactly. But just watching your friends walk in with fantastic, unique
Costumes.
I was always just taken by all that.
So he was totally surprised.
Totally. He didn't know it was going to be for him.
Oh, I
But
love that.
yeah, it was just a very fun thing to watch as a little girl.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So from that, was it because your dad was a printer that you got into printing the invitations?
That was a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
But what was interesting when I first started with the invitation was my father died very young at 57, but the fragrance of the print, because I used to hang down at my father's printing company. My sisters and I would hide underneath the big printing presses and sell Girl Scout cookies to everybody. And but the fragrance of the
I bet you
ink.
sold a lot of cookies, didn't
boy.
you?
They all had to buy from the boss's girls. Yes, a lot of
because
cookies.
you were a hustler.
Oh yeah, for sure. And didn't know that my father was really paying for all the cookies from everybody.
Oh, that's
But
cute.
the fragrance from the ink just like reminded me of a little girl, and you know
Good
the
memory.
creativity of it,
Yeah.
and it was just I really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, but and thank you for sharing with me about that. You, because I'm sure it's sensitive that you did lose your parents at quite a young age, in their 50s and 60s.
Yes.
Which, wow, you know,
Yep.
being in that age group ourselves, we're like, whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think about that all the time.
I'm
My
sure.
mother passed at 60, and
Yeah.
you know, very young.
Yeah.
Very young.
Yeah. And was it preventable or?
Yes, both from smoking.
Yeah. Wow.
My
Oh,
mother had
my.
lung cancer from smoking, and my father smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So he
my gosh,
had a heart
wow.
attack.
Yeah, it was so popular back then, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I mean, it was like, you know,
So I
that
take
was
it
the
you don't
way it
smoke.
was. I do not smoke.
Yeah, and
But what's interesting is I love to collect vintage art, and a lot of it has smoking in it.
Oh,
And I
really?
think I collect it because it's familiar and
Right.
feels like my past.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting. I'm very attracted to it, even though I don't
I hear
you
ya.
know, condone it.
And how did that impact you? You know, everything I think that is not feels like it's not good in our life, something good comes out of it. What do you feel like that
Yes.
was?
Well, all 3 of us kind of bound together. We're very close, my sisters and I. But I know it's going to sound strange, but every time something's going wrong at a party, for some reason it gets solved. And I always say, oh, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I really think they're up there taking care of all 3 of us
Yes.
down here. I'm always looking up there,
Yeah.
always saying thank you. And, you know, it's hard. You know, I have a grandchild now. My kids, they would love. So I miss that part. You know, I miss,
yes.
you know,
Yeah, you have
like
3
that
sons.
part. Right. I have 3 boys, and, you know, I tell them stories all the time. And, you know, my mom had a great personality. My father was a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. And so are my 3
you sound
children.
like a combination of the 2.
Yes, oh,
Yeah,
completely.
great
I got
personality.
both of them. But my kids are all workaholics. So not that that's great, because, you know, I'd rather than, but I see pieces of them in my children.
Oh,
so
that's sweet.
That's the best.
I do feel like, you know, those that have gone beyond are helping us. They are our angels, aren't they?
Completely.
Yeah.
Especially weird things that have happened. So I really believe it. Some people look at me like, what, are you kidding?
No,
and I go,
I'm with you.
I feel good about what I
We
believe
feel good
in.
about it.
Yeah, so if that makes me feel good, then yes.
And we know it.
We know it. Exactly. You do.
So you have 3 grown sons, and each of them has very interesting paths. I know you said one's a writer and one's in the entertainment industry. And
one actually, you know, graduated Brandeis University and worked in entertainment field for a while, and came to me and said, I want to open a bar.
Oh.
I said, a bar? Oh, gosh, really? You know. And what it is,
but he's loving it.
Oh my God! It's a vintage arcade and pinball bar.
Oh, fun!
Games from 1979 to 1991. It is fantastic. Of course, I had to invest in it with Dread, but they're
and is that here in LA?
Yeah, it's in Echo Park. It's called Button Mash, and
Button Mash. I'm sure some of our listeners have been there.
The food is insanely good.
Oh, good! I'm going to go.
Oh, you'd be shocked.
Button Mash.
Anyone I've taken there is shocked.
Yeah.
And crowded every day.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Thank goodness.
So he's doing what he was meant to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, you know, do what makes you happy. If it's making him happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The middle one would like to be a writer. He does sports trailers for Fox Sports and works at a talent agency, just, you know, to make some extra money. And the little one's at NYU.
Oh, what a great
He's
school
already
that
managing some young artists and some models, and who knew at 19.
Great.
So.
That's great. NYU is a great
and
school.
I'm very obsessed with all 3 of them.
And so interesting, your son went back to New York, where your dad is from.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, and his father is from Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that's he feels good. But I made them all sign contracts at 6.5 that they will live with me forever. So he will be back. He will be back.
That's cute.
Yes.
And I want to talk about the weddings, of course, because everybody wants to hear about that.
Yeah.
But I just also want to talk about you had just the most beautiful love story you shared with me about your husband, your second husband.
My second husband.
We won't talk about the first, but
Yeah.
the second husband. You had gone to grade school with, like you were in
junior
7th grade.
high. Yes.
Yeah.
These 2 cute little twins
Yeah.
came from Brooklyn, 7th grade. From the minute I saw Robert,
Yeah.
but not his identical twin. I had no attraction to him.
Isn't that so
Just
funny?
to Robert.
Yeah.
Mad crush. Robert didn't like girls yet. He was in 7th grade. But I used to leave him love letters in his locker, and he knew. And we would stay on the phone all night and not hang up and blow in the phone to wake each other up.
Oh, my God. That is so
it
cute.
was from, like, you know, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. We were just friends, and I moved on. 9th grade.
And got married.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got married to somebody else, and then 20 years later,
There you go.
we reconnected and we married. So
But the best part is
yes,
he had kept your love
all
letters.
my love letters. I used to
That
draw
is
him
unbelievable.
these birds, these kooky birds.
And what guy holds on to love letters?
it
He's
was-
a keeper.
Yes,
He's a
but
keeper.
later on found out he's also a hoarder. So
Oh.
we would never. So
Okay.
no, I'm teasing.
But you actually ran into him at your 10-year high school reunion,
Yes.
but nothing,
no,
materialized
we
till 10 years
talked
later.
the entire time. My
Yeah.
my husband at that time was with me, but Robert and I just caught up.
Just
it was always
reconnect
instant.
it like it was 7th
Always
grade.
instant. And then about 19, 20 years later, he had called because he was doing a party for his mom and just heard I was a party planner and just wanted some advice.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, why don't we get lunch? And I said, I really don't do lunch. All I do is work. But anyways, he talked me into doing lunch. And at that time, I was separated.
Yeah.
So I told him, I tried to fix him up with all my girlfriends, and then realized that it was me that should have been fixed up with him. And
I love that story.
And the rest is a love story.
It is.
Yes.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah,
and now you've been together how long?
24 years.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, we have a
24.
20-year-old.
Wow.
Well, he'll be 20 next month.
Yeah.
And we've been together about 24 years. And
Well, what a great story.
yeah, it's
So
good.
after let's go back to you started this one party, and then how did you get into doing weddings, and how did you get into doing celebrities? You told me about your very first celebrity wedding.
Right.
Was Brooke Shields.
Yes,
and
Brooke
Andrew
Shields.
Agassi.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Andre.
Not for nothing, but that didn't turn out so well.
Nope.
Nothing to do with the wedding.
Unfortunately, no. I always say I'm responsible for the wedding, not the marriage.
Not the end result.
Because unfortunately, a lot of the celebrities don't tend to stay together.
Right. That's so sad.
Which is very sad.
Do you think it's like more stressful, obviously, lifestyle than the average?
I think that you need to spend time together to
Right.
make a marriage work.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the distance allows you to forget what you had.
Because they're on movie sets all over
Yes,
the world
all
and for
over.
long
So
durations.
you really have to have this very strong bond
Right.
and together time.
Yeah.
And I always think when they have children, that's another bond, but even sometimes that doesn't work.
Right.
So, you can only hope. And I have definitely most of my other weddings, I've had a good track record. But Brooke and Andre were my first, did not know what it would bring, had no clue, totally naive. I just thought, hey, this is cool.
Yeah. And how did you book that first celebrity?
From Brooke's assistant, Jennifer. She
She had heard about you and your fantastic
she heard
events?
through somebody. Yeah, no, that was my very first celebrity, and then brought Brooke in, who was like girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like totally down to earth.
Yeah,
to
she
this
seems
day
very.
down to earth.
Yeah.
Like very, and it was exciting. I
Yeah.
grew up knowing her and everything, and at that experience I started learning about how important security is and paparazzi. I didn't know anything about
Right,
that.
of course.
So I mean, now it's even more intense.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrity weddings, and I got the security down pat now.
Yeah.
And all the little games I play.
Right.
But then I was really, kind of new to
it. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, as you were telling me, one celebrity brings another, brings another, brings another, and next thing you do, you're doing it just about everybody.
Yes, and I still get very excited. I am not jaded by it. I think it's cool. But the truth is, once you get over the coolness, they're just a bride and groom.
Yes.
And they want to have a wedding, just the ones they've dreamed of, just like non-celebrities. It's the exact same process, except security issues.
Yeah.
And sometimes celebrities don't have as much time on their hands.
Right.
So each meeting is like a power meeting. We're doing a lot in a small amount of time, whereas some of the others that are not celebrities, we sometimes have a year to plan.
Right.
So that's the difference.
At the beginning of the show, I was saying you've done Ellen and Portia, you've done Sofia, Vergara, and Joe,
Yes.
you've done the ones from the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And what other ones are, prominent in your mind that were super fun and memorable?
Well, I think probably one of my most favorites, even though I can't say a favorite wedding because every wedding has a favorite element
Yes.
that I love. But I really love Jimmy Kimmel and Molly. They're really, it's nice. They're just real people. And
Yeah.
just everything I said he would remember, and it was just a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
It just turned out to be a great whole planning experience.
Right. So I guess you're not going to tell me who was the most difficult.
No. But
I didn't
maybe
think
10
so.
years I'll write a book. And
No
hide,
doubt.
And hide.
Speaking of that, you've written 3 books already.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And since I just got engaged, I have to read the one about
Yes.
dream wedding on a budget.
Yes.
So,
But there's
yeah.
one, it's called The Wedding Book.
The wedding book.
And
yeah.
it's almost 500 pages, but really everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Kind of just a good read.
I've gotta
has
get
my
these books.
personality in
Yeah.
it. I'll give you these books.
Oh, wonderful.
A whole
But where would people
chapter
get them?
on same-sex marriage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's
I love you did
Amazon, and I'm even in that Amazon store in Century City, to my shock,
Oh.
where they have very limited books.
The new brick and mortar one.
Yes.
Wow.
I got so excited because I
No,
didn't
that
know.
makes sense, though. It's in Century City.
Yes,
That's all
but
your
it was
clientele.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
they pick very few books. I have a wedding organizer that's #1 on Amazon.
That is great.
And a baby keepsake organizer. Because I figure after the weddings, we're going to go right into the baby showers and baby planning and everything.
Right. So you do all of that.
All of it.
All of
we don't just do weddings.
Right.
We do everything.
Birthdays and
Yes.
anniversaries.
Yes,
and-
your
yeah.
future mother-in-law. I did their anniversary party.
Right.
I've known, them
The
for
Smalleys,
the
yeah,
Smalleys
yeah.
for 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
More.
Yeah, wonderful
Lovely.
people.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, lucky. What was your most memorable non-wedding event?
I think. Well, my favorite parties are baby showers, actually.
Oh, really?
Isn't that funny? Like,
Yeah.
I love baby showers because people's attitudes are softer.
Uh-huh.
They kind of come out of their shell a little and show their sensitive side of letting us do like baby things.
Right, right.
It's a weird time for pregnant women. Some of them don't look their best.
Right.
So
Or feel their
or
best.
feel their best, but I like making the party that makes them happy.
Yeah.
So I love baby showers. And
Yeah,
it's
especially since you just have a new grandchild,
Yes.
right? How old is she?
She's 2.5, and we have another one on the way.
Oh,
so,
exciting.
Yes, and they don't find out what they're having, which is so
Yeah.
cool. So it's
Yeah.
that whole hospital scene of yelling and screaming. And but I think those are my favorite parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know we have a picture of you at this big event. So you also do speaking. I see you
Yes.
speaking at the Engage event.
Right,
What is
Engage
that?
Summits. That is the best wedding planners summit and event people summit that you could go to. It's
Is that for people who are event planners?
Yes.
Okay.
It's event planners, photographers, people in the wedding industry.
Gotcha.
So there's all types of people like videographers, florists, lighting people. And it's truly the best summit that you can go to. They have 4 this year. So I'll be
wow.
at the one in Perth, Canada.
Oh, so they're
And
all
I'm
over the
going-
world.
Yes, and I'm going to Ireland too.
Oh, wow.
yes.
And then you've had a show that has been on YouTube that you're restarting.
Yes, we
and what is
are
the name of that show?
That is just my YouTube channel, Mindy Weiss on YouTube, and we're going to reboot it in March. I learned a lot from my first 5 episodes, and this whole even party planning is a learning process for anybody who wants to get into it.
Yeah.
It's something. I wasn't discouraged. I love sharing information and ideas, which you see on Instagram. I'm an Instagram holic.
Oh.
And
That's the most popular one to utilize, I've heard.
Yes.
And for your business, it seems like it makes total sense with all the photographs.
To show all the flowers. And I get so
Flowers,
excited.
food,
Yes.
everything. Yeah.
The experience. So.
And so your industry, I'm sure, is always still growing and evolving, and that makes it exciting and never old, right?
Huge
You've been doing this
industry.
for 30 years.
30 years.
And you look like you're 35 years old, so
Thank you. Inside,
you must have started at 5.
Inside, it's old in there. I'd wear a lot of cream. Yes.
Well, I think, I've just heard nothing but wonderful things about you.
Thank you so much.
I know, you put your clients at ease and you put on these just incredible, memorable events. It's why you're so famous for what you do.
I'm responsible for people's memories. And when you think about it that
big.
way, I take it seriously.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah. And so they can get your book. They can go to MindyWeiss.com.
Yes.
And they can look for you on YouTube with your
And
pre-shows
Instagram
and new shows.
at Mindy Weiss.
And Instagram, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Wonderful. Well, just keep making beautiful events.
Thank you, and thank you
weddings,
for having
and
me.
Thanks for
I
being
love
here.
talking. Yes.
Me too. Okay, well, we will be back next week with more great guests. So thank you so much for tuning in. Visit MindyWeiss.com. Visit 360karma.com. Make it a great week. Hugs and happiness.